Friends, we're here. We made it to the Renzetti factory, and we could not feel more welcome. It says so right there. And so the tour has just started, and Doris is showing us around. Our old friend and Mad River Outfitters customer, Jim McManus, is here. You know, this is going to be really cool. I've been doing business with Renzetti for 32 years, and it's just amazing to be here. It's a really cool, and they don't do this for just everybody. So we're pretty honored to be here and be a part of this. So I'm excited to see this. Okay. Oh, okay, you're here.
Sure.
Yeah.
And a couple of those bridge boards were one of the original pieces of equipment that Andy had when he first started. Specifically this old girl right here, she's been around since way before I was born, and she still holds true to like 5/1000ths of an inch. Here's some of the parts of toolbars that are in process right now that we're working on. And then when parts get made, they got to get QC'd. Oh, I'm messing up. Oh well. So right over here, we have a QC room. And everything gets checked under magnification, and then it goes to an optical comparator to check all the dimensions, make sure that we're holding tolerances to ensure quality. Everything that we work is really small, especially on the Swiss turn side, which we'll get to. And sometimes it's really hard to hold the tolerances to make sure everything works really good and tight for you guys and all your tires out there. Nothing gets passed through the process unless it passes here. So basically we make the part, then I check it on the floor, then it comes in here and gets even more processed, and then once we get to go ahead, then we'll do run for production.
Wow.
We also have presses over here where we press on like the heads of the shaft. But here, Andy just made this the last couple months, and it's just an easy way to press this on. Basically, this goes in here, and then and then this goes in here, and it just presses it on. See here? This is tapered, so it's like super tight once you get that pressed on there. And then we go over to this other side and bend it with a rod. We have it for the right hand and the left hands. Like we have some other presses over here that we make the cams with the levers that are on the traveler jaws to open and close them. So there's like different components over here and machines that we use. So these are our mills. This 50 has been here probably about 15-20 years. This is usually where our the main bases come from. And they mount in this fixture right here. And it's only to come down, scoop down, and then it'll do all the operations and mill all the pockets, and then mill all the sides, make sure everything's nice and tight and beautiful. I think we have examples over there. And then it'll go to a second process where we're counterbore the back of it. And this is like the main fixture that makes, I don't know, probably around, how many bases they pump out at a time?
32.
About 32 bases.
Wow.
What's the run time?
It's about 2 hours.
About 2 hours. You know, we pump out around 36 good parts consistently.
240 something like that.
Yeah. And then it goes over here and then it gets the drill manually.
So we only run like 2 at a time, but there's 2 ops. It'll start on the right side and then you start shuffling, doing the cycle. The second op is the counterboard. What's that?
What does it actually do? What's the machine?
So it makes these pockets right here. So if you look at it, so the first op, it'll rough out these pockets. Okay, and then it also does this corner round here. It also, so when we get the material, it comes in about a 12-foot bar.
It comes in like this, like raw stock.
Yeah, so raw stock. So I cut these, and then you can tell this is a rough cut. So when this goes inside, it's going to clean up this edge, mill that edge, and it also does this corner around here. Also roughs the pockets out, and then it'll do a finish run to make them smooth on the inside. Then we flip it over. So you take the tube, and then you bring them over to the second. The other 2 vices here, you flip it over, and it does the counterboard. So in that first when it goes through the first operation, it does do the through hole, but then the last operation is come over and it just, at the end of the program, it does that counter bore right there.
Which we don't do in this machine because it takes longer, so we manually do it on the Bridgeport over here, and we end up just having to manually do the travelers. But like any of the 6 inches or the 8 inches is part of the program that runs.
And all of our materials that we use are from certified mills that are approved by the United States of America. So everything that we use, we recycle. So everything will go into this bin, then it goes to those bins, and then it goes to the scrap yard. And then what they do is they send our material to the mills like Alro and all these really big companies that are really trying to be conscious of waste and not putting it in polluting like our planet that we live on. So we really try to pride ourselves to be as zero waste as much as possible. All of our metals are certified, like everything is traceable back to the original origin of when it was made in the mills. This is it for this little oily bit.
It takes that big of a thing
56 pairs
to make this? Wow.
That's what so when this comes from the Swiss turn side, that's what the primary looks like, and this is what it looks like after it's milled over here.
And that's before any outside processing.
That's a big thing for a small thing.
Oh yeah, we do about 56 pairs a run. It's
Wow.
It's 2 hours and 220.
Yeah, 2 hours and 20. Yeah, you guys can come in and look if you want.
That's cool.
Like we'll do
That is really, really cool. That's amazing.
So, as you can tell, this room's really loud. Each one of these are tumblers. They basically take and kind of like deburr, take the sharp edges off, and it also gives it like a nice finish. So you got the heavy one here. This one we use for the bases. So when the bases come out of the mill machine, they still have really sharp edges on them. So we end up safety cleaning them, ultrasonicking them to get the oil off, and then they go in for about an hour inside of the tumbler. And then we bring them out, clean them off, air dry them, they get placed right here, and they're ready to get shipped out to get powder coated. In the back room there is a sandblasting room. So a lot of the parts get sandblasted before they get anodized or powder coated. That corner over there, we have a lady, her name's Carly. She does all like the lacquer for the brass, polishing the brass. She's very meticulous. So all those pieces that you see that look really shiny, beautiful, she works so hard on those. She's awesome at what she does. So yeah, that's that. We'll go to the Swiss turn, I think, next. Check that out. We'll go to the Swiss turn.
You guys want to check them out? It does all these operations inside the machine.
So what? You just put a block of aluminum in there, and then this comes out.
So basically, you have to go.
Is this magic?
No. So basically, what
I think
happens?
it's magic.
So what happens is we'll have a thing called SolidWorks, which is a 3D modeling software. You take you draw the whole part out, and then you can run it through a CAM software. And what a CAM software will do will help you program all the tooling. So you have to input all the tool information, counterboards, drills, every spec. Then you'll load it up in here, and then you'll take this bar right here, piece of aluminum rod. It'll go inside here. So what it does is the piece of material will get loaded up, and then there'll be constant hydraulic pressure on the back of the material, which will slowly feed it into the machine, and then it goes up here, parts it off, makes it true, and then they'll push the material through and start doing all of its operations. I have an example of one running right now. So these are the first operation for the jaws before they go to the mill. So if you look, we got all of our tools here on the turrets, we got our cutters here, we got the drills, we got our end mill,
that's making the whole part.
How often do you have to change your bits?
A lot.
Layden would know that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
would know that question. Yeah. I just work in the shop. I don't know about that.
the components and I'll take you out. We actually assemble them.
Yeah, they'll take you through the assembly room. You guys see how we all put them together.
When do we get to make our own vise?
Yeah, whatever you want, man. We're looking for people to work.
Oh, here we go. Quieter.
Yes, my fault. I actually get to listen to music up here.
Oh, really? Well, can I buy all 100?
Yeah.
I know I have
Come
to.
on, Brian. Do
You
your
have
thing.
to talk to Lily.
I'll talk to Lily. Yeah, I mean, where are you, Matt? I mean, basically, this is the master vise, and this is the vise. Flip uses one of these, and Flip, in fact, Flip has one of the original master vises that Andy ever made. And basically, in a nutshell, I mean, you're going to do your fine tuning with this little knob right here. Okay.
Fine tune up.
You're going to fine tune the jaws. Okay, and typically the way you'd set this up is you're going to fine tune it such that your hook kind of just slides in and just maybe touches the edges. Okay, and then all you do to clamp it down is just with a cam lever. Now they have several different operations on their jaws. They have a roller on the 4000 series, I believe. They have a roller, so there's different. The vise that Dave Whitlock used was a 4000, I believe. So there's different operations, but this is the master vise. And then, of course, it will fully rotate. So if I'm not mistaken, Andy Renzetti invented the world's first true rotary vise.
Yeah, the presentation
Yeah.
3000 really
Yeah.
was the first.
Yeah. So by true rotary, Andy and Lily, who own the company, Andy invented the first true rotary vise. And a true rotary vise means that you can rotate it as such and the hook remains on axis. Okay, so you can, instead of wrapping your thread like this, you can hold your thread in place and wrap the vise like this, or with a vise like this that has the lever on it and such. That's the Clouser arm that they add there. So, and this is just, the fully adjustable. You can adjust all the different tensions of the rotation. You can adjust the angle of the head. You can adjust it's fully adjustable. And you can just see the quality on that vise is just far and above. So somebody that wants the best of the best, it's kind of like we were talking about fly reels earlier today. I mean, in reality, a $50 fly tying vise does the same thing as a $900 fly tying vise. It holds a hook, okay? Some of them rotate on axis, some of them don't. That just depends on what you want. Of course, you can always rotate a fly and tie on the underside of it as well if you're putting a beard or legs or something on there. So, but and it's just like owning a Nautilus reel or a Able fly reel. Sure, it does the same three things as the $50 reel, but if you enjoy nice things, there it is right there. That's the best of the best. And if you've got the money to spend on something like that, it's something you're going to have for the rest of your life. And it's just a pleasure to tie on. With Renzetti, there's all kinds of different options.
Yes.
You can add this or subtract this. And here's all the different types of bases that they sell. This is the one that everybody's going gaga over now.
Because it's even heavier.
Yeah, all of the guys in the shop, Pat Kelly and Ryan, all the guys that tie the big, this is called the streamer base, is that correct? I think
Yes.
it is, yep. So this is, and it's just,
Keep up with that.
yeah, it's just super heavy. It keeps your vise from wobbling around as you're tying.
And
So,
it's magnetized.
yes, so you throw a hook on there and it stays, or beads or stuff like that. So, yeah, there's just all kinds of options. You can get C-clamps. You can mix and match and put this together. But as I said earlier, if you have questions, what do? You call Mad River Outfitters. Yeah. I will sell you the master vise. Yes. So this here is the legendary master vise. In fact, I think Flip has one of the original master vises that Andy Renzetti ever made. But this is truly the finest fly tying vise in the universe, known to man. And it will hold a hook. For those of you looking for just the best of the best, this will hold from size 28 tiny little dry fly hooks up to 10/0. So it will tie any size hook that you want it to. Of course, it's fully adjustable at every step of the way. You can adjust the tension, you can adjust the angle, you can adjust the head, and then of course the rotary, shall I say, it rotates, how do they say, just like butter. So there you go, the Renzetti Master Vise. What an honor it is to be here where these guys are actually making them and putting them together. And so cool, when I send an order, it goes to her, and then they pack it up and off to Columbus, Ohio it goes, and then out to the consumer. So, you know, you've got the start to literally finish right here all in one room. So pretty cool. Fly tires, you would go crazy. Ryan, Pat, everybody back at the shop. I mean, it's all here. It's all in boxes, and every streamer brush you could possibly imagine. There's all these nymphed up, oh, we gotta get some of this in the shop. These dubbing brushes. Hold on, what's over here? Brush and wing fiber, we got angel silk, we got the frizz fiber. This is the fiber and brush capital of the world right here. This is like paradise, yeah. Well, friends, I'm here at Renzetti, as you know, with the legendary Andy Renzetti and the even more legendary Lily. And guys, we just, on behalf of Flip Pallot, myself and Mad River Outfitters, we just wanted to say thank you so much for the tour today. That was great fun. It's so great being here and seeing. We've been doing business for 29 years almost.
I bet, yes.
You know, and I don't mean to brag, but Mad River Outfitters sells a lot of Renzetti stuff.
You definitely do.
And you know, I just wanted to say thank you. It's great to be here and see you all in person and see the facility. This was just so fantastic. So thank you so much for what you do for us. And Andy, thank you for making such great fly time. I mean, you've been a blessing to the fly time world, and we all owe you a huge debt. So thank you, and thanks again, and so great to see you.
Well, we want to thank you as well, because you do a terrific business with us, but you also focus on educating,
Yes.
which is huge
Very
for
important.
Renzetti, and it's huge for the industry as well, because
Yes.
without that, the industry will not grow.
Right.
So we want to thank you for your commitment to the Renzetti line, but also to the fly fishing industry.
Well, thank you.
And the relationship has been fantastic to do business with you, and your staff is amazing. So we're definitely grateful.
Well,
for
and I'll
that.
make sure my mom, who still pays the bills.
Yes, you're amazing.
Say hi to Judy. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming today as well.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
Yes.